Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Walt Baca Happy Hour. This is a very special edition of the Happy Hour because we are combining this with the Sonoma County Vintners. And welcome. My name is Catherine Hall.
And I'm Jennifer Brown. I'm the director of Baca Wines.
And you're my daughter.
And yes. I am your daughter. Very important distinction.
Yes.
We are so happy to be here with you guys today. Our Walt Baca tasting room is in Healdsburg in Sonoma County, and we're so excited to be part of the Sonoma County Vintners auction this year.
We had hoped that we could be doing this in person, but because of COVID, we've decided we're just going to go virtual this year. So we're really, really glad that you joined us. We've got a very special program in addition to, and Jennifer's going to be bringing out the wines, but hold on just a second because I want to say we have a fabulous guest today who's going to be joining us a little bit later in the program. That is Natalie Morales, whom you know from the NBC Today show and many other venues. So we've got a fabulous program in store for you.
Absolutely. And we're so excited. We're going to be showcasing today the 3-pack that you were able to bid on for the Sonoma County Vintners auction. So it included 3 wines. These wines are still available on our website too. They're all 2018 vintage. This is our Walt Chardonnay San Giacomo. And then we have our Walt Bob's Ranch Pinot Noir. And then our third wine that we've got is under the label that I run, Baca. This is our Cat's Cradle Rockpile Zinfandel. So if you have the wines with you, and we would love to taste along with you.
And by the way, I think we should have a little taste with ourselves and say,
why
cheers
not?
To you all.
Yes, cheers to you all. Cheers to you, Mom.
So before we bring on our wonderful guest, Natalie, we have 2 other wonderful people we want you to spend a little time with, and that is Michael Haney, who is the Executive Director of the Sonoma County Vintners, as well as our own Jeff Sapelli, who is the General Manager for Walt Wines and who is responsible for this wonderful
Well done, Jeff.
Chardonnay that we're drinking. Hey, guys.
Hi there.
How's it going, Catherine? Cheers. How are you?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, you're looking very comfortable out there. You're at Healdsburg, right?
Well, yeah, so we're sitting right on the patio in Healdsburg under a brand new blue sky. We have the auction that we're supporting this weekend, and Michael's been through a lot in Sonoma County in the last couple of weeks. And so I said, hey, Mike, before things get started, why don't you come have a glass of wine with me, and then we can talk about the auction. So here we are having a tasting right on the patio in Healdsburg.
Sounds wonderful. And Michael, so tell us, you're going to be tell us about the auction and how is it going? And
I'm happy to, and I'm happy to be here. I can't think of any place I'd rather be right now. It's a beautiful day to be here on the patio at Baca and Walt. So thank you all for having me. But you're right. We're really excited to get all of our 2020 auction events going this week. Of course, our auction is virtual this year. But we're really excited to kick everything off on Thursday afternoon from 4 to 5. We have our best party ever. And we'll have our fantastic chairs and I hosting that show. Our chairs, of course, this year are Clay Moritzen of Moritzen Wine and Mark McWilliams of Arista, and then our friend Jake Bilbro of Limerick Lane. And not only are we going to have those guys there, but we're going to have some very special guests from professional athletics and many other areas to really kick off and talk about the auction lots that are going to be on Saturday. And the great thing about all of our activities this week is it's super simple to participate. All you have to do is go to SonomaCountyWineAuction.com, register, and you're ready to go. And then, of course, we'll dive right into Saturday's big auction, which we're really excited about. We have so many fantastic auction lots. And, of course, our auction benefits our Sonoma County Vintners Foundation. And one of the things that people ask me all the time is, exactly what does that mean? And our auction, since its inception, has raised over $36 million of that money staying right here in Sonoma County. Absolutely. And just this year alone, in 2020, which we all know has been a challenging year, our foundation, because of the generosity of our wine community and everyone out there who has participated and supported, has put $4 million back into supporting over 80 nonprofit organizations here in Sonoma County. So it's very impactful. And I have to tell you, I do want to take this opportunity to thank the Craig and Catherine Hall Foundation Baca and Walt Wines, Jeff, and the whole family for all your fantastic support and for your amazing $10,000 donation to this year's auction. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and keep on doing the wonderful work you're doing. We're proud to be supportive, Michael.
Absolutely.
Well, we're proud to partner with you, and we're looking forward to a fantastic series of events. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll make a lot of money to help people in need here in Sonoma County.
No, we're so proud to be a small part of that, Michael. We really just applaud you for all of the work that you do for those of us in Sonoma County, and we're really appreciative.
Well,
I also wanted to ask you guys there. I know I see you got some wine glasses in front of you. Jeff, you're at our Healdsburg tasting room. What do you guys? What can guests expect when they come to visit?
Well, thanks. So this is a fun way to not only have a glass of wine with you, Mike, but to showcase. This is his first time visiting, and so for the first time visitors that are coming, this is what you can come to expect. We'll have a very elegant, awesome view out to our vineyard. Just to the north is the Dry Creek Valley, and what's special about Healdsburg, and the reason why it's Walt and Baca, is because we're at the crossroads of the two major highways, 2-lane roads in the West County Sonoma. Going south, you've got the West Side Road, the Rodeo Drive of Pinot Noir out to the Russian River, which Mike's family is very familiar with. And then off to the north, we have the West Dry Creek Road, which is home to some of the best vineyards for growing Zinfandel, which is, a fun place to talk about these two labels. Baca being, born out of Zinfandel, and Jennifer, you're doing an awesome job with that. And then with our Pinot Noirs off to the south down the West Side Road. So it's a cool crossroad of the two. Well, thank you, but it's a lot of fun, and I think that this place is special and unique in that you can taste both of these wines really in the same place and talk about two places just down the road from each other.
And what an amazing setting! This is gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Well, we love it, and we love to welcome guests up. So those of you who are watching and you're coming up to wine country in the near future, come on by and see us. We'd love to have you come, and be sure to go online. I think we have that tag here that we can put on the screen to show everybody. As a reminder, here we go, SonomaCountyWineAuction.com. That's where you can go and bid on products. You can get some great wines, some great experiences, and help a really wonderful cause and a lot of wonderful organizations at the same time. So thank you. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
We're going to get back to drinking. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
It was a lot of fun. Good luck
you.
with Natalie.
Good to see you.
Can't wait. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, that was so wonderful.
It really was. And it helped so many great organizations. Just so happy that they would come on and be with us.
Absolutely.
And now we have a really wonderful
That wasn't
yes. That was not planned.
This is not part of the thing. Somebody is calling my mother.
Yeah, I am so sorry. So,
do you want to take that?
no, I don't.
Okay, good.
I think not.
Okay.
We have a fabulous guest, and I've mentioned her name earlier. We all know Natalie Morales from so many times watching on television on a variety of different shows. And of course, the one that we see her so often on these days is as the West Coast anchor for the NBC Today show. But what you may not know about her is that she's also a fabulous cook. And she has done a wonderful cookbook called At Home with Natalie. It's a beautiful book, and it has just beautiful recipes. And what I really appreciate about it is it's very easy to follow.
Yes, we both appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Natalie. We like cooking, but we're not amazing at it. So having things that are quick and easy to do, we really appreciate.
And so now we're going to get a chance because Natalie is going to come on and she's going to make one of the recipes from her book. Natalie, are you there?
Hi guys. Yes, so happy to be with you and to share a happy hour with you. Cheers, ladies.
Cheers to you.
Catherine and
Cheers
Jennifer. And I know you're both vegetarian, and Jennifer, you're vegan and gluten-free. So I really wanted to find something that would appeal to you, but also would go with all of the wines that we are trying today, the 3-pack, from the Chardonnay to the Zinfandel to the Pinot Noir. This is the perfect palate opener. I'm making gazpacho, which is a chilled tomato soup. I learned how to make this in Spain, and really there is no cooking involved, so it doesn't get any easier than this. So I figured you all can help follow along as you can, and it's pretty simple to do and no cooking involved. And I know we're still sort of at the tail end of summer, so I figured let's milk it a little bit more, because in California, summer goes pretty much until October, early November. And this is a perfect way to kind of celebrate the end of summer, but it even goes wonderfully in the fall. And what I love about gazpacho as well, ladies, is that I feel like it kind of fills you up a little bit before. It's the perfect entree before, or the perfect appetizer before your entree. So it's a great way to kind of open up the palate, but also fill you up a little bit so you don't overeat at dinner time and you drink a little bit more.
And speaking of drinking,
Absolutely.
let's, do we need to pour a glass of wine?
Oh, yes.
Natalie.
Oh,
Can
sure,
I
yeah.
water you for
Here
some
you
of
go,
that
here you go,
Chardonnay?
Natalie.
Oh,
Would you like
thank
Chardonnay?
you. Perfect.
Ta-da.
That is the perfect chill, the perfect pour.
I think it's always important to cook with a glass of wine nearby.
Yes, definitely.
That's why I love cooking so much. It's really because it's my excuse for having a bottle of wine open, get me in the mood and relaxed, and there you go.
So,
So are we ready, ladies?
yes, let me just say one quick thing
Yes.
about this wine for those of you who are looking. So this is our San Giacomo Chardonnay. It's a 2018.
2018.
And it comes from a vineyard in Sonoma County, which is very appropriate since we're with the Sonoma County Vintners today. And it has just a little bit of oak on it, but mainly you can hardly get any oak in this quality. There's just lots of minerality, and I think sort of a creaminess in the palate.
Now, do you all store this? Are these in oak gallons, or is it, how do you, because I really don't taste the oakiness, and this is the perfect smooth Chardonnay.
Thank you. It is in oak for a very short time, for a few months, but mainly these grapes just have such beautiful acidity, and the minerality from the soil really carries it through. So I think what comes out here more is the minerality of it than any kind of oak.
Yes, it's very smooth. I mean, there's no bite to it, which is great.
Yes. Perfect for gazpacho.
It is perfect for the gazpacho. All right.
So
Are you
I'm just
all ready?
saying,
You got your knives in hand.
We have our knives.
yes.
Tuck away. With gazpacho, really, the key ingredient are really nice whole tomatoes. I like the San Marzano tomatoes, so I have a 28-ounce can here. You guys have yours as well.
They're not quite San Marzano. Oh no, they are San Marzano.
It's fine. It's
Okay.
As long as they're, tomatoes, it's all good, but like really good quality canned tomatoes, perfect. If you have, a pound of Roma tomatoes, you could do that yourself as well. But I like this. It's perfect, and it has enough juice to it that it really makes the perfect gazpacho. So what I've done ahead of time as well is you've got a half of a yellow onion here. You'll see also I have a half of a cucumber, a whole cucumber. The other half I've diced up here because this is going to be used for our garnish. So I'm going to set that aside.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, and then I thought we could do some chopping. Now, of course, I would have a fly in the middle of this perfect setup.
It makes
So
it
I have
sound better. Thank
you
you.
use red peppers, orange peppers, yellow peppers, preferably not green because then that will change the color a little bit of the gazpacho. You want it to be a real red. Since I had these beautiful orange peppers, half of it I'm going to leave because that's going into the blender. The other half I'm just going to do a quick little dice. All of the garnishes, you want them to be diced pretty small because the idea is it's like a salad, a soup salad, if you will. And so you want it to just add a little bit on top for freshness. Now, the great thing about gazpacho as well is that it really is something that you can just add whatever you like and think would go well with it. For example, the garnish, sometimes shrimp, poached shrimp or crab meat go deliciously on top, along with some avocado, cilantro. And in the summertime, I actually like to put a little watermelon in the gazpacho.
Oh,
Adds a little bit of
nice.
sweetness and cuts down the acidity quite a bit. So okay, I'm chopping up just dicing here my peppers.
And does it matter, Natalie, if you actually dice it or just small enough that it?
Small enough so that there's small bites that you're going to add on the top of the soup. So this really just goes at the end.
Oh, this is the garnish.
This
Excuse
is
me.
the
Okay.
garnish.
Got it.
I wanted to leave some cutting action for you all. So
Okay.
there we go. So
I like
I'm going to set the garnish aside,
Okay.
but the rest we're ready to get going. Do you all have a big blender? Because
We do.
this is something you might want to do in batches.
Yes.
We love our blender. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to add my tomatoes in here.
Okay.
And I'm going to just put the lid so it doesn't splash too much. And sometimes you could do that. Okay.
So is there a difference in taste if you use a canned tomato or a fresh tomato? You were talking about aroma.
I actually really like the San Marzano canned tomatoes because they are already softened to the right texture. They've been sitting oftentimes in a little of their own juices. So the juice is really what you want. And it's perfect this way. Obviously, if you have Roma tomatoes, you could soften them a little bit, peel them, but it just adds a little more work. So I'm fine with the canned. That's what's great about this. I call it my 20-minute gazpacho recipe because
Yes.
it really does not take much time whatsoever. All right, ladies, so now we're adding a 1/4 cup of olive oil, which I have here.
Okay.
And then I'm also adding
Yes, I have pre-poured it, so
Yeah.
it's good to go. Okay.
We are so prepared for this, Natalie.
nice. And then I have some sherry vinegar. You could use red wine as well. It's a 1/2 cup. And I'm going to pour that in too. Okay.
And so there's so many different types of vinegar.
Yes.
We happen to get sherry vinegar too, but
Well, because you asked, that's what the recipe
Well, yeah.
calls for.
Okay, you know what I like about sherry vinegar is it's a little bit smoother. I guess maybe coming from the sherry wine, you all would know more than I would. But in Spain, sherry Jerez is a very popular, after dinner drink too. So sherry is the sherry vinegar. What they make, it's a little bit softer, smoother, less acidic, I find. So, but red wine works really well as well, red wine vinegar. And I'm going to just throw my pepper in. I'm adding my 1/2 of a yellow onion.
I should take these green stems off the pepper though,
No, the chopped ones.
Oh, the chopped ones.
And you don't want to put the seeds in.
Okay.
Now, for the cucumber, I have one of the Persian cucumbers, a 1/2 Persian cucumber. You don't have to peel it because the skin is so soft. If you have another kind of cucumber, you probably want to take the skin off if it's not completely soft and doesn't just get folded into the recipe.
This is a Persian.
How do you know it's a Persian?
Persian is the very thin skin, and you want to keep the skins on because they add that delicious crunch. It's like it's the most perfect pickle when it comes to salads and soups or anything of that nature because they do have such a perfect little crunch. But the skin is not, doesn't add a bite to it. Just blends right in.
You already knew that, didn't you?
Well, I knew some of that.
So then-
we grow a different kind of cucumber at home. It's got a very bitter taste to this, the outside bit.
So then you might want to peel the
Peel
pickle,
that
or peel the cucumber.
Yeah.
I love fresh herbs, but if you have dried herbs, it works as well. I have some, this is oregano from my little garden, which I chopped up. It's just a teaspoon of oregano, but if you don't have fresh, you can use dried, use a 1/2 teaspoon because dry herbs tend to be a little more potent.
I
So,
see.
little
So we
tip
didn't
for you all.
have dried oregano by itself, but we have Italian seasoning. Is that okay to use?
That's fine. That's
That's
fine
okay.
too. And because I'm going to add thyme now. So you've got oregano,
Okay.
you've got thyme. I've got another teaspoon. That's fresh thyme. And then
I got time here.
fresh thyme. I love this. This is so much fun. It's like, ladies, we need a drink in between.
We do.
Absolutely.
It's like a little cooking lesson here. It's great.
Yeah, this
So I'm
is
going to add,
so cool.
you all have Tabasco. If you like a little heat, a little spice. up to you, however much you want to add. The great thing about this recipe is that it really is forgiving, so it really comes down to taste. So I encourage you to try it after you blend it a little bit and get a real sense of if it needs a little more salt, a little more pepper. You'll know. Trust me, you'll know.
My mom is really into Tabasco, so she's
like
probably
it,
going to go
and
for
she
it.
does it. Yeah. So we just.
Right, so I'm adding a little salt.
Okay, salt. I got the salt.
I've got some fresh salt here. Adding a little pepper. Okay.
Ta-da.
And then we're ready for some blending.
Okay.
Some blending action. Here we
We did not
go.
bring the base over here. We're just going to blend it later
Oh.
for us.
Yes.
Okay. Well, how are we
Okay.
doing?
So I'll blend it on my end. Assuming through this. Okay, there we go. Start. Start would help.
That is one serious blender, Natalie.
This is a serious blender, but it's funny because it's got so many buttons except for a big start button. I usually use my little Vitamix. So here we go. Hold on, it's coming. I promise it's good. There we go. Now we got it. Now we're good.
Is this what we drink?
This is what we drink. Yes.
That's my blending dance. That's the only time you'll see that.
I like it.
So I think it's done. Usually what I do is I put this in the refrigerator and I chill it. You can leave it in the refrigerator overnight, however long. One other step, ladies, that I didn't mention is I usually make, let me grab this over here. I make fresh croutons to go with it because I like a little bit of bread to it, but I know, Jennifer, you can do gluten-free croutons, however you like it. But now is the time to garnish. So, actually, let me get my ladle, excuse me.
We made a little bit of this earlier, so we got some from earlier today too.
Oh, you made some already?
Yeah.
We did. I mean, not as well, I'm sure, as it will be now after your instruction, but
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Well, as I mentioned, I learned how to make this growing up in Spain. This is sort of at every meal. You have a delicious bowl of gazpacho. And I really find with a lot of my friends who are vegan and vegetarian, this is one of my most requested sort of appetizer dishes because they know it's a specialty, but it's also something that is a crowd pleaser, but you don't have to worry about offending anybody who's vegetarian, vegan, or so it's the perfect way to get around that. Okay, so now I'm gonna add some cucumbers on the top. This is where it gets really
we can do
pretty.
that.
Oh, and we just wanted to give a reminder to those of you guys watching, you can ask us questions. We will field them and ask Natalie any questions that you have.
Yes, please add
Well,
them.
as many as we can get to it. Yeah.
So now I'm adding my pepper. I'm going to show you this beautiful bowl in just a minute here. So I add the cucumbers. I'm adding some diced peppers on the top. And this is all to personal taste. Again, like I said, there's often shrimp, cucumber, or shrimp and poached crab meat goes really well on top. I'm adding some croutons.
I love how versatile it can be. You can do so many different things with it.
Yes, yes. And I have to tell you, the croutons, I just took like a couple of days old bread and chopped them up and added some olive oil, some fresh herbs, thyme, some Parmesan cheese, and some salt and pepper, and put them in the oven for 15 minutes at about 350, and they're fantastic. And then I'm going to add a couple of some chopped cilantro, some sprigs of cilantro.
You know what else I love about this is that really it's so healthy.
It is so healthy. It really is. There's nothing fattening to this except for the olive oil, but that's good for you. So
Yeah.
here you go, ladies, if you can see that.
Oh my
Delicious.
gosh, that's just gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, I encourage people to add peaches to it, watermelon to it, whatever it is you like. You can taste it, and if it feels like you need a little more spice or a little more kick, you can always add that and chill it. Really, you want to serve this really, really cold, and it goes perfectly with, again, with the white Chardonnay that we're drinking. And we'll try it with the red wines too, because I'm pretty sure this is a spectacular fit for just about any wine pairing.
Actually, why don't we just start with one of the red wines now?
Wonderful.
So will you pass this to, I'm gonna pour us a glass here.
Okay.
And then you pass this to Natalie, okay? So.
Are we doing the Zinfandel now?
Well, let's do the Pinot Noir first.
Okay, Pinot.
So Jennifer's gonna, here you go.
Oh, here. Let me pass it to you. There you go.
Okay, perfect. Getting it.
You got it. Okay.
Good.
Ooh, got it. Here we go.
Let's see. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers. Thanks for showing us that beautiful recipe.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you all enjoy it and add it to your own recipes, because it is something that's so appetizing and appealing, I think, to so many, you know, who love fine wine, but love fine eating as well. And super easy, as you saw, no cooking except for the croutons, which I pre-made.
Well, and I love that we can just adapt it to what we have in the kitchen too, like you said, you know, based on season or what's around the kitchen. That's fantastic.
Definitely.
I'd like to say I like it because it's easy.
Yes.
Yeah. It's wonderful. I mean, and it is versatile, and anyway, I love it. So, and this is, I think, a really nice pairing. I was at the beginning,
really
I was
good.
thinking, well, I really like the Chardonnay with it, but so this is the 2018 Bob's Ranch Pinot Noir, and this comes off of a vineyard that was actually named after your grandfather,
Yes.
my dad, Bob, and it's our premier vineyard site in our portfolio, and it just produces these wines that are always so full-bodied, really lovely dark fruit. Maybe just I think I'm getting a little bit of sort of earthiness in there when I was tasting a minute ago.
It's very smooth. I love it.
Very smooth. It's also
Thank you.
sweetness. I think there's this illusion of sweetness from the fruit that's very appealing. But I think the acidity here makes it a nice with the gazpacho.
I agree. And that's what's so nice about Pinot Noir too, is it's a really versatile food wine. You know,
Yeah.
It goes with all kinds of, whether it's a big
Yeah.
meat dish or whether it's a salad, gazpacho, it goes great.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us about
delicious. I love
the vodka? Yeah.
Sure. So, it's my job, Natalie, as I run our Baca brand. We make Zinfandels. Why don't I pass it to Natalie
That's great.
first?
Okay,
And then, okay.
I'm
really good
ready.
at this. As you can tell, you got it? Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
You're so
Grab a
welcome.
glass. Ooh.
And I grabbed another second
Perfect.
one in the meantime for us. So Baca means berry in Latin. And another thing we like about this label when we were designing it is that if I hold it close, you can kind of see that it calls out California aspect of it. So it's a stacked logo. And that's because Zinfandel is really the quintessential California grape. It really grows best in California. It does have European origins, but it's something that's really unique to our heritage. And we just love the differences that you get around the different vineyards in California when we grow it.
Wow.
This comes from a special vineyard in Sonoma County in an area called Rock Pile. And just like the name implies, the soil is very rocky. So you get a lot of mineral qualities from that, but also the vines have to dig really deep to work hard, frankly, and then they produce a small grape in size. So it packs a lot of punch for a Zinfandel. So
Yeah. And this is, whoever this is going to be really sorry when it's over. So, come back to it. So, and by the way, and I will also learn how to turn on Do Not Disturb, which of course Jennifer is telling me.
potentially, one of us may have told the other person to turn on our Do Not Disturb before this video
Okay, and one
started.
of us may have forgotten. What can I say? But anyway, I think the Zinfandel is best when you make this gazpacho with more spice. When it's like a little hotter, a little more of that.
I agree
hot
with that.
sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Natalie, we're getting a lot of questions for you, so I thought I would go ahead and ask some if you're game.
Sure.
Besides cooking, what has been your favorite hobby of 2020?
Ooh, 2020 has been a rough year because there's not a lot that we can do, besides being indoors. But I will say, cooking is something that has, I feel like, brought us all together as a community. We're doing a lot more of that for ourselves. So I feel like I'm seeing so many people who are learning how to cook now because we're in this time where you can't just hop over to a restaurant or pick up something that you normally could. But I will say also, I have found, I get out, I'm a big runner. I still run a lot. I'm active with my kids a lot. There are some blessings in this. And I feel we are all spending a lot more time with our loved ones. And, I don't know if we needed to go through this very tough experience, but I do know that coming out of it, I think we're a little bit stronger because of this, and that family units are stronger, hopefully. I'm playing a lot of Pictionary with my kids and doing a lot of board games, things that they normally would not care to do with us. They want to play video games, but we enjoy sitting around the dinner table and then afterwards just having a good, game night. And so we're doing a lot of those things that have been allowing us to entertain ourselves a little bit more than just turning the TV on and having real conversations. I mean, it's been a time, this is a time where I know I have a 16-year-old and 11-year-old, 2 boys, and 2020 is going to be a year they're going to be talking about with their own kids. And it's a year we will not forget. There's so many lessons learned in this year, but also so many positive lessons learned that I hope that, it allows our kids to dial back a little bit and dial into what they're feeling and their emotions a little bit more. So anyway, just my thoughts.
That was beautiful.
But I have enjoyed the great outdoors a lot more because that's what there is to do.
Absolutely. No, and I mean, in our house, we don't always live together, just right now we are.
And I'm enjoying it.
Right. But we love doing puzzles and other things at home. And I completely agree with you. Having this extra time to spend together and do those kinds of things is really special.
Yeah.
I think also maybe those little things, because you give them more focus, they just have that much more meaning for you.
And prior to the coronavirus, I was on an airplane like 2 to 3 times on average, every other week. So it's been a good time for me to kind of settle down and be home and to, just be here for everybody, which is something that I think my whole family appreciates a lot more of.
I bet.
Yeah.
So I think we can take about one more question, if that's okay.
Dude,
Does that sound
go
good?
for it. Yeah.
Let's see. Natalie, how do you think award season is going to be this year?
Oh, fun.
Ooh, that's a tricky one. I mean, there's a lot of virtual ceremonies. I will say, though, I feel like they did the VMAs a couple weeks ago, and they did a fantastic job. You really felt like there was a crowd and an audience, even though it was really sort of virtual. And next, we have the Emmys coming up end of September. So that's going to be a virtual ceremony as well. But it's pretty well planned. From what I hear, the organizers have asked everybody who's nominated to be ready and willing to participate in this sort of world that we live in, which, by the way, could it be any better? Like, maybe they'll still get dressed up and get glam and all of that, but they're doing it from home. You don't have to walk in high heels down the red carpet. It couldn't be better, in my opinion.
Does that mean we get to see stars' homes, actually? I wonder.
Ooh.
A little bit of their, maybe? Like, we're getting to see your kitchen right now, which is pretty interesting.
We're going to see,
that.
It's been so interesting. I actually feel some things have worked better because we feel like we're getting to know people a little bit more at that level where we are seeing into their homes a little bit and getting a sense of who they really are. And so it's different, but it's still going to happen. It's, the hard part is the movies. We are not going to be able to, watch the movies like we did before the Oscars. By then, maybe we'll have a vaccine, who knows? But there's there's a lot of a trial period in between all of this, and a lot of movies are streaming now, and we're still sort of at that point in time, I think, where we're figuring it out. But the award seasons are going to be, it's going to be different. It's going to be impacted. It's not going to be red carpet affairs as you saw. I know the Venice Film Festival, they did have some red carpet, but it was like everybody was spaced out and glamorous as always. But I feel like it's kind of hard to do all of that right now, given the times we're in.
For sure.
Yeah, hard to think about getting dressed up in really fancy clothes. And
I have loved being in my sweatpants. I don't know about you all.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, I will never say what I have under this blouse. Yeah, yeah. So, but on the red carpet, is there going to be any kind of a red carpet where we get to see the people in their dresses? Or
With the Emmys, there's not going to be that, I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, what I hear is it's all virtual. But going forward, I have seen plans for possibly having people really spaced out, and it would be a very difficult way, I think, to do an award ceremony. But
yeah,
having people come one by one, with 6 feet, 7, more spaced out than normal. So I don't know yet. I mean, to be honest with you, I think there's a lot of planning and organizing underway to try to figure out how you rescue the entertainment industry and all of this, including, can we get back to our movie theaters? I mean, some movie theaters have reopened and chains are opening up, but I have a hard time getting myself to a movie theater right now. I feel good watching a movie at home on my TV.
how has it been bringing out your book during this time?
Well, the book has been out for 2 years now, so
It's 2 years, really?
It's,
Wow.
believe it or not, yeah. The last time, I guess 2 years ago when we did our Cabernet cook-off,
Yeah.
was when
I
the book
cannot
came
believe
out.
that was 2 years ago.
Well,
It was
time flies
2
when
years
you're
ago.
having
And
fun.
it's hard to believe because this year has flown by, even though it's at a crawl, but at the same time it's flown by. But what I love about this book is that I keep hearing from people who have purchased the book, this is the one cookbook that has been, super easy, everything I can do, and appeals to everybody. And the other thing is, I actually had somebody say, when are you coming up with a second cookbook? Because I have lost 45 pounds and I need to keep going.
Whoa.
Good for them.
Because it is the focus of the cookbook is really, it's global cuisine, but with a healthy narrative, because that's who I am. I am a runner. I am an athletic person. I love to cook, but I don't believe that you need to put a lot of fat in your food, and all of those flavors are fillers generally. I feel like there's a lot of flavor in just plain ingredients and vegetables and healthy, full ingredients. As you all know, in Sonoma and Napa, you've got the best of the best. And all around you, there's like a bounty. Nature is providing you with a cornucopia of incredible ingredients to use. And we should be cooking more seasonally. We should be using what's in season and what is fresh and at our farmers markets, rather than what's shipped to us from God knows where. So I feel very strongly about cooking, and you all being vegan and vegetarian, which, by the way, I've been doing a lot more plant-based lately as well.
Oh, good
I
for
feel
you.
like the plant-based movement it's where we should be right now, especially speaking from a climate change perspective. Like, we should be more aware of how our food is brought to us and how it's produced. So, but that's me on my little platform.
Here to that, and cheers to you, Natalie. I just the dish that you brought to us today is everything you were just talking about. It's fresh. It uses seasonal products. It's seasonal produce. It's beautiful. It's healthy, and just like you, by the way. What can I say? So
Thank you. Cheers
It's
to
just
you.
been
By the way,
wonderful,
this
Natalie.
Zinfandel is so smooth. It's
thank
going
you.
down a little too easy.
It's dangerous, isn't it?
It is. It's catching up to you.
I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
So, any last words of wisdom? You've already given us so much. Anyway, before we let you go, Natalie.
I mean, I just want to say, first of all, I mean, we have seen so many industries and so many businesses impacted, and from our restaurateurs to our wines to the things that we love in life, that in any way that we can support and be a part of. That's why I'm doing this today, and helping all those wonderful organizations in Sonoma County who are benefiting from this charity auction. I do feel like our environment is so precious right now. We're seeing that firsthand with the fires all across our state and up the West Coast. So we need to really understand the preciousness of what we have around us and protect it. And, I truly believe that if there's one way you can support, it's a great way. It's easy. It's drinking wine. Does it get any better than that? But really it is supporting those industries and the farmers who are out there doing the hard work, the laborers, the essential employees, ways that we can support the things that we truly love, but also supporting our environment. We really have to take heed because, as we've seen, our planet is heating up and everything around us is changing so rapidly that we need to pay attention to this.
Couldn't agree
Beautiful
more.
words, and could not agree more too. Thank you so much, Natalie. You have been such a friend to the wine country in general, to all of our community, and to us personally. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
It's
Natalie.
my pleasure. Always happy to help, and always happy to drink wine with you too.
Thank you.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
in person next time.
I know.
Yes.
We hope so
Yeah.
too.
Beautiful person inside and out.
Absolutely. That was so inspiring. I mean, both her words as well as the dish that we made and the knowledge that she brings to this. We're very lucky to have worked with Natalie today. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you to all of you for being with us for this program. We hope you've enjoyed it. Fabulous recipe, really beautiful, beautiful person, and so glad that you are joining us here at Walt and at Baca. Remember that you can support the Sonoma County auction by going on. Here's the website, the link in front of you again. So you can come on and you can bid on products. You can, who knows, you can find some experiences and wines you've always wanted, and you can help a good cause at the same time. So thank you, everybody, very much for being with us.
Yes, thank you all. It's been a fabulous time. I got to hang out with my mother. We got to drink great wine, support a great cause, learn how to make a new dish. I'm going to be on Baca's Instagram tomorrow with Kira Gerard, who's from the show Dance Moms, which if you're
It's very fun.
very fun.
Yeah.
Yes. But other than that, I'm just so excited I got to be part of this.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. And in the meantime, stay healthy and sip up.